back to the show.
Thanks.
How are you?
I'm doing really well.
Last of Us. It was a big deal. You were here before, and you're like, I'm working on this indie game, Last of
Yeah.
Us. Nobody knew how it was going to pan out. Then it wins all these Game of the Year awards.
Yes.
Most people say, not in spite of you, because of you.
That's a little crazy.
How was last year for you?
It was really good. I mean, we've worked on that game for over 4 years now.
Yeah.
So
I'm so sorry you had to be around Troy that long.
I know. So terrible. Not at all. He's awesome. I'm lying. Yeah, so I think just it's like when you make something, you want people to like it as much as you do.
Mm-hmm.
And, the fact that people responded the way that they did was exciting. And every day, when they would send like a review or we would hear something, I would just be, sitting there crying.
What a wonderful year.
I cried all year. No, but it was really good. I mean, this is something this game means so much to me just because it's one of my most favorite things that I've ever worked on. And I love Ellie so much. So I'm glad that people liked it.
Yeah.
It was a good year.
So
all in all, in a summary, it was a good year.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got there. When you were working on the game, did you think it was going to be as big as it was? Because obviously, we all sit around and we all just keep looking at Naughty Dog like, you're going to up. And we're all waiting for it. They're eventually going to swing and miss. And so you had to be like, oh, I hope it's not me.
Yeah, I know. You never know. I mean, it's like when you work on stuff, you hope that it's going to be good. I mean, you never want to be working on something that you're like, yep, I know this is going to suck, but we're just going to keep going.
Power through.
Yeah, you just power through. But, I think at times we were like, this is really special, and I hope this turns out well, but I think even I was a little bit surprised when I ended up playing it. I was like, wow, I would like this even if I weren't in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Your highest recommendation.
Yeah.
So then what was it like to come back and do Left Behind, the DLC?
I was so excited. When Neil was like, okay, I have an idea for the DLC, I want to run it by you. And I was like, okay. And then we went out for lunch, some Italian restaurant, irrelevant.
What?
I had some pasta.
You are missing a golden opportunity of free
What
food.
did I have? I think I had pasta, that's for sure.
Like, you're missing the point. You can't. You got to get the restaurant name. Like, hey, ask me where I was. Ask me where I was before. Where did I eat before this?
Hey, Greg, what did you eat before this?
Oh, where did I eat? Well, I'm at IGN, so of course I went to Merrigan's Sub Shop. Second in Brandon, the best sub.
Is that the sticker you have in your pocket? Brian almost gave me a sticker for it, and I was like, I don't want a crappy sticker.
Merrigan's Sub Shop has the finest stickers in all the land. It's a good sandwich.
I bet it's good. I'm sorry, sandwich shop. I forgot what you're calling it. I'll take some stickers. Put it on my binder for school. What am I saying?
Your trapper keeper full of
my
appointments.
trapper keeper, yeah. I don't even remember what I was talking about.
Well, it was that Neil took you to
Oh,
lunch.
yes. Okay. ADD. Right here happening. Okay. Oh, shoot. Going south. Here we go.
You're eating
Read
pasta.
it back in. Eating pasta.
Neil Druckmann's there.
Okay.
He's probably drinking really hot tea because he does that.
He does. Does he drink tea?
Yeah.
He does drink tea. Okay.
I'm the reporter here. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. You know what? He does drink tea. He doesn't drink coffee. Okay. So we're sitting at the restaurant, and he's like, "Okay, so we're eating." And he doesn't want to tell me the story yet till we finish eating, so I'm just like shoveling my food.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, so they take the food, and then he's like, okay, so here's the idea for the DLC. And so I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, okay, and then what happens, and then what happens? And I was tearing up. Apparently this is a theme. I'm an emotional woman. And I was a little, not shocked, but I was excited, and I couldn't wait to do it, and I was so excited to get back into Ellie's shoes, because they're my favorite pair of shoes.
So then how long did you have to work on the DLC?
The DLC, it was, let's see, I want to say 9 months, maybe less. I don't know.
Okay.
So there's good information.
Can you
for
remember
there.
what you ate at the pasta restaurant? All right, now here's the thing. Ladies and gentlemen at home, we are now putting at the bottom of the screen, spoiler warning. This means that you can tell it. Don't you groan. I tweeted at all of these kids. I said we were going to spoil
played it.
Yeah, Sean Finnegan. What else you doing?
Sean.
Boo. Anyway, so now there's a spoiler warning up where we will spoil things from the DLC and from the real game. You all had your chance. I'm sorry. So let's start with the DLC.
Okay.
When you tackle the character of Ellie,
Yes.
is she gay? That's like the most honest, sincere, real question I've had, because this is something people talk about, right? In the DLC, there's the kiss. And so Neil came on and did the spoiler cast with us, talked about it, and he's like expressing all the things behind it. But then people still in the comments were like, "You're all interpreting this wrong. She's not gay. She's just caught up in the moment." And like, all that's true. And for me, this is where you're just interviewing me now. For me, when I'm playing it,
Tell me, Greg.
and it happens to me. Okay.
So tell me, Greg, for you.
I don't think I've ever had a single shot during the interview, so this is exciting. I'm going to get a close-up finally.
Guys,
All right, so
it's always exciting here at Up at Noon. Up at noon, I'm drunk. And I haven't even had any alcohol.
So I'm playing, and it happens. They kiss. Such a genuine moment. I knew they were in love from the... Oh, I'm getting the close-up. Look at that. I knew they were in love, from the Facebook booth. When they went in there, and they're like, well, what do you want to pick? And I'm like, well, I want to pick love, of course. And I was like, oh, wait a second, they love each other. And then you start seeing little more
so you
signs.
picked it up there, okay.
Yeah. And then there's the kiss and stuff, but it's one of those things, and maybe, hopefully, this is one of the big things I push for, right? That I'm really excited, hopefully, to live in a world one day where being gay isn't a thing.
Right.
You don't have to make a declaration that you're gay, that it isn't, oh my, two girls just kissed, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, it's neither an applause or a boo moment, it's just a moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this felt like that for me, to where it happened, and I was like, oh, that's awesome, they're in love. And it wasn't like, oh, now I'm identifying Ellie as gay.
Okay.
See where I went with all that?
Yeah, no, I do.
Okay,
you're
in a game that stirs up emotions.
Yes. And I feel awkward that I'm sitting here.
Okay, let's go back.
Okay. Musical chairs.
All right.
Okay.
So is Ellie gay when you play Ellie?
Okay. I know so many people have been asking me this question, and Neil and I have talked about it so much. I feel like we both sort of, Neil and I are coming at it from a sort of a different place, and so I think he thinks one way about it, and I kind of think one way about it. But I know this is kind of a terrible answer, but I feel like it doesn't really matter, because I think this is. I mean, I know that kind of sounds like a cop-out answer.
It doesn't
but
at
it's
all.
like,
No, that's what I was driving at, right?
Yeah.
To me, it wasn't. All of a sudden, Ellie became, oh, she's one of the gay characters in games. You know
right.
What I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess she is. No, maybe she isn't. I don't know. It's like, it's not answering the question at all.
No, but I mean, this is what I'm
like,
talking about. It's a complicated game of complicated emotions.
Yeah, I feel like
it's
in
like
this...
Operation.
Yes. That's exactly what it's like. You're like, oh,
what do I do? My emotions.
Yeah. I think it's, in this sort of world that they're living in, obviously that's not something that they're even thinking about. Mm-hmm. Of, if it's, with Bill's character, or,
right.
I think it's just when you make a connection with somebody, that's the only thing that you have in the world. So regardless of whether it's male or female, that's what's important. And I think for Ellie, Riley was kind of, meant everything to her. So of course, when you're a teenager, how else do you sort of express that emotion than just like, I gotta kiss you right now, So
I almost closed out the Stefan interview. So it's,
I gotta kiss you right now.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, I even as I played it, I was going sort of back and forth on it.
Yeah.
But it's like at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters. Sorry, guys.
No, you did great. That was an awesome answer. You did really good.
Okay.
I thought we were in for rough waters with the pasta stuff, but you brought it around. You were fine. So here's my next question now. Sean, have you beaten The Last of Us, the real game?
Yes.
All right, there we go. So what did you think of the ending of The Last of Us in general? Joel is the bad guy. Joel is the bad guy. I beat that game and I was like, Joel is the bad guy.
Yeah, I've heard you say that before, and I was like, man, that's a really interesting sort of take on it. But I feel like I would make the same decision that he did.
Really?
Because
you're Ellie.
Yeah, I know.
You just want to be in the sequel. You don't even care.
I mean, because I was like, okay, if I was in this world and I made a connection with somebody, no matter no matter what, and then you would lose that for mankind, basically, I would be like, well, I hate mankind now because I lost the person that I love, and I don't care about all these other people. It's totally selfish. It's totally selfish. But I would make the same decision drunk.
It's okay.
I would make the same decision.
So then when you're playing the final cutscene of the game there, and you ask for the truth, he gives it to you. Ellie, obviously. You're not Ellie.
Yeah.
You just play Ellie. Yeah. I'm not crazy. Does she believe him, you think? Like when you play that scene, you're lost in that moment. Sometimes it's on the page, but you bring it to life. So did you believe it? I mean, does Ellie believe Joel when he's like, oh yeah, fireflies, man, they were nothing. See ya.
Yeah.
Let's ride a horse.
No, she doesn't believe him.
Does it matter to her? And again, as you interpret the character, Druckmann's probably cranking away on Last of Us 2. It's 15 years from now. Ellie's all grizzled. She's going after Joel now.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I think, it's Ellie, obviously, throughout the game, it's like she has a really good bullshit detector. So I think, when Joel sort of says that, and he's like, oh, this fireflies didn't end up working. It's like she knows he's lying, and whether, I think that's what's cool sort of that the game ends there, because you're like, well, maybe they just moved on with their lives, or who knows what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not cool. I know a lot of people were kind of annoyed with it, but I loved it.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I was never annoyed with it. I thought it was
good. Okay,
I always thought it was awesome. It's one of those great games where Naughty Dog, Neil, just not Bruce because he doesn't do anything. they had,
Bruce does a lot.
No, well, don't get me started on Bruce. They had a story and they told it, and they didn't cop out. They didn't bend. At the end, they're like, we don't care if there's. When I walked into the hospital room, right, like I was waiting for the button prompts to pop up and be like, leave her or save her, and that never happened. I had to kill the doctor.
Yeah.
And then
Did you kill?
I can't leave any witnesses.
I know.
My first guy came at me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, guys. I really want to do this in real life. All right.
That's what I did too, and I didn't know that you had an option.
Yeah.
And then I just went in, and there was just like no questions. I shot the first guy. And then the chick is like over crying in the corner, and I was like, sorry.
Can't come after me. I can't have this. Yeah. So
time to die.
Last of Us is done.
Last of Us is done.
You're probably in pre-production on Last of Us 2.
No.
No, you're not. Yeah. Again, over here on this IGN.com, Podcast Beyond Spoilercast with Neil and Bruce, they talk about these questions. Anyways, why did you cut to a one-shot of Ashley during that? So for right now, if people want to continue to support you, what can they do? You're retired from acting now after Last of Us?
No.
Okay.
I know. I should just stop here because
it's never going to get better.
It's all downhill. I don't know. I'm working on random things, but we'll see.
All right. So look for Ashley Johnson in random things coming up, and of course, pick up The Last of Us Left Behind right now, available on your PlayStation 3. Ashley, thank you so much.
Thank you.